My name's Thomas. I'm 31. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and this is Financial Audit.
What do you do for a living?
I am actually a construction manager for a telecommunications company.
Okay.
So I manage building cell phone towers all throughout the country.
Oh, really? Okay, so you're traveling a lot then?
Generally, yeah. I travel. Like next week, I have to go all the way out to West Texas for 3 or 4 sites. So
Nice. And what are you bringing in a year?
right now, I bring in $100,000.
100,000. Okay.
And on the side, I also do auto detailing. So that'll generally pull in 25,000 extra a year.
Dang. How many hours a week are you working?
Too many.
Yeah?
Usually. Yeah. It's usually, I designate like during the weekdays, I'll do like small detail portions. So I'll do like, maybe an interior clean at night for people. But on the weekends, I'll do full details when I have off. But I try not to like kill myself on work.
Yeah. What I'm curious about mostly is, you're making good money. You're working your butt off. But you do have a mess that you're cleaning up, and we'll get into that. Mm. But besides that, unless that is the reason, why are you working so much?
Oh, man, I filleted myself in debt throughout my 20s. I was like, that's not real. Money doesn't matter. And now I'm 31, and I woke up, and I was like, man, my kids aren't going to have anything to fall back on if I die.
Do you have kids?
I do. I have 2.
2 kids. What are their ages?
One is 10, and one is 4 now, yeah.
Oh, very nice. Congratulations. Are you married?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Oh, and also make sure you're subscribed because we're trying to get to 250,000 subscribers, and everyone who's subscribed so far has been awesome. You're a subscriber.
Absolutely. I've been at it since the beginning.
Yeah. Really. So I love you. You're the best. Thank you. Very cool. So trying to get out of the mess that you built throughout the 20s and doing it for your kids. If there's a motivator, that is a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want my kids one day to not have to like go out on their own and be like, oh, I don't have like parents that can support themselves. What do I do with them if they can't move or whatever one day? If I'm in a wheelchair, I don't want my kids to have to worry about that.
Right. Yeah. So. Yeah. The responsible take. It was a little controversial, but I said on here like a few weeks ago, it's irresponsible for a parent not to take care of themselves for retirement and forcing their children to take care of them. There's nothing wrong with kids taking care of their parents, not at all, but forcing kids to do it.
Yeah. I woke up and I thought it was extremely irresponsible of me to put that burden on somebody else. Like they didn't choose to be here. They didn't choose to be brought into a world and have to be forced into something they're not responsible for in the first place.
That's a beautiful way to look at it. I like that.
Yeah.
I want to hear from your standpoint where you think your financial situation is at. What does it look like today? I'm like,
the paperwork you have right now shows me like $12,000 left over. I'm at 6 now.
Oh, very good.
6'9" actually, so a little, like almost 7.
Okay.
I think I'm doing pretty good. I didn't start this until October of last year.
Start the cleanup?
Yeah. So I started with 26,000.
Okay.
And I'm at 7 now.
26,000. So what happened in the 20s? In your 20s, walk us through that.
So I'm gonna go back past my 20s.
Sure.
I grew up with extremely financially illiterate parents.
Classic American experience.
I think my dad had like 6 cars loaned at one time. He was making like $200,000 a year and was just like, I can afford it, And so I never got that financial discipline put in. Mm-hmm. My mom's been very responsible, but they split up when I was a kid. So I didn't ever have the know-how to handle money or understand like compounding interest or like investment accounts, and nobody really talked about it. Like my stepdad was like, you don't talk to our kids about money. It was weird. So, I got out of high school and I joined the military. When I joined, I was making more money than I'd ever seen in my entire life. So I was blowing it and getting loans on cars, just doing stupid stuff. And then I moved across the country, got into cell phone towers.
How long were you in the military?
I was in a total of 9 years.
Wow. What branch?
Army.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in the Army. I was National Guard for the remainder of my contract after I went overseas.
Okay.
But yeah, I was in the military, super irresponsible with my money, got into towers, made more money than I made in the military, lifestyle inflation, just, you know, I'd see an apartment and I'd be like, I can afford that. Because I haven't made under $70,000 since I was 21.
That's incredible.
I haven't made under that, and now I'm to the point where I haven't made under 100,000 since I was like, I don't know, 27. So it's just the industries that I've chose to get into have been pretty good, but I've inflated my life with those industries.
Yeah.
So just got into stupid car debt. You know, I'd get out of a debt and I'd be like, nah, I can go afford something else. So my stupidity caught up to me, and I hit reality hit me in the face. I woke up, it was the end of October of last year. I woke up and I was like, how am I going to pay my rent? Like, how do I not
really
have
was
any,
that tight?
Yeah, I was like, how do I not have any money? And I was like, so I got on Facebook and I was like, I will detail whoever's car, whoever wants it. And I had people come for full details, did full interior strip, took out the seats, made $300-400 off of each detail I did for about 2 weeks straight. And then I just kind of started doing it part-time throughout. So,
dang, dude, that's incredible. Now you've made some good progress, and we'll get into that debt. And yeah, it's a debt.
It's progress, but some of this is luck, like just pure.
You think so?
Oh yeah, like
what?
My car, I owed $26,000 on it. It was a 10.5% interest. I hit a deer in November going to Alabama to visit family. Totaled my car, wrecked it.
Okay.
So Gap Insurance paid it off.
Yeah.
So that brought it down to 12. I got laid off from my job in January. They gave me a severance. I took that whole severance plus some extra stuff. Yeah, January this year I got laid off.
Okay, well it's barely February. What's your situation now?
I'm employed.
You're employed.
I had a job. I got fired on a Monday. I had a job, or I got fired on a Friday. Had a job on Monday.
Well, what was the old job?
Same thing.
Same thing, just different company, competitor.
Yeah.
And the wage that you said at the beginning, that's your wage.
Yeah.
Did you go up, down, sideways?
I was at 90 with bonuses there, so I was making 100, 110. I came here, they paid me 100 straight with bonuses. So.
Wow, okay. I'm curious about this one. So you don't have a college degree, right?
I've never.
How do you get into this cell phone tower building industry? Because this makes killer money, and people are like desperately trying to figure out how to crack six figures, and you're over here just like, I'm just going to do it.
I think the military helped me. I had a lot of privilege on that side. I did telecommunications in the military.
Okay.
But I've worked with plenty of guys that have never stepped foot on knows anything about telecommunications. Really just apply, man. You look up tower technician jobs, and that's what I did. I looked up tower technician jobs. I found one in Little Rock, Arkansas. I was living in Alabama at the time. And they called me and were like, are you afraid of heights? And I was like, nah, not even a little. And they were like, all right, we'll see you here on January 14th of 2014. And I showed up. They handed me a $700 check and said, get in the truck. You're going to this place. Go climb towers.
Do you think they're jobs that people don't want to do?
This?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody wants to climb 200
Oh,
feet.
do they have a hard time hiring people?
Not necessarily.
No.
A lot of people try it and it's not for them.
Oh, okay.
It's labor intensive. I have to do a lot of like physics calculations and stuff with what I do, like load line pull, mass, worrying about like something's rated for 1,000 pounds. Am I going over what it's rated for? But in the beginning, man, you're just climbing and getting on the tower and hanging out. Like
it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So if you're looking for something to get you over that six-figure mark and you're not afraid of heights, I'm terrified of heights.
I started out at like $20 an hour.
Yeah.
And I was working 70 to 80 hours a week. But a lot of that was just sitting in a truck driving to a site.
Oh,
sure.
sure.
Site, you'd work on the tower for a couple of hours, be done.
Wow.
Go somewhere else. So.
All right. Well, let's jump into these monies. So checking account. We're just looking at a singular month statement for this checking account, but you started with $167.
Yeah,
that's scary.
That's the November statement, right?
Oh, so it starts at the end of November and then goes into December.
Okay. Yeah. So the end of November, I actually started the baby steps in November.
Really?
So I did the $1,000 in savings. And then when I started with $1,000, I was doing almost a zero-based budget. I kept fluff money in there, 167 or whatever.
Sure.
To just like keep me padded from like something awful happening. Like,
well, yeah, don't you have auto pays that just hit?
Yeah, like auto pays will hit, and I'm like, damn, I forgot about that one last month. So I like keep a little buffer in there to where I don't pull from emergency at all. But yeah, I try and like zero stuff as much as possible, get as low as possible.
Sure. You did end with 1,000, so that's definitely more comfortable than 100.
Yeah.
So what's really interesting is 9,000 in, which is great, fantastic. Well, 9,663, and then 8,774 out. So that money going out, in your mind, where is that going? How well are you tracking all of this?
I think I track my stuff fairly well. I'll lose sight of like groceries. Okay. Like I said, I got kids. Sometimes like my son will.
So you're not strictly budgeting?
I'm very strictly budgeting. Sometimes like food, I'll underestimate how much I'm actually spending, and then I'll just kind of like pull it back to like, oh, I can kind of fit this in. But I think I go over like $100 sometimes on food, which not a killer. I put a little bit of buffer in there for me on that. But we'll see in a minute. I track my money pretty well.
I want to take a brief moment to tell you about something I love. Audiobooks. As someone who's always on the go, audiobooks have become an essential part of my routine. Since I'm in car-riddled and traffic-heavy Austin, Texas, I love being able to listen to audiobooks while stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic. And what is my favorite place to find audiobooks? Audible. Audible has an incredible selection of titles across every genre, from bestsellers and new releases to celebrity memoirs and even wellness books. I recently listened to Atomic Habits by James Clear, and it completely changed the way I approach goal setting and forming habits. It was such an inspiring and educational listen. But Audible is more than just audiobooks. They have a wide selection of podcasts, wellness programs, and even exclusive Audible originals from top celebrities and renowned experts. And the best part? New members can try Audible for free for 30 days. That's an entire month to discover new favorites and new formats like the exclusive Words Plus music series. Head on over to audible.com/hammer to start your free trial today. As an Audible member, you can choose one title a month from their entire catalog, including new releases and bestsellers. So if you're looking for a new way to read, or you just want to switch up your routine, try Audible. Thanks to my sponsor, Audible. Well, yeah, and when things have hit automatically, you haven't encountered any overdraft fees, so that's good. So what happens a lot through here? We have like Apple subscription and an Apple subscription. You have a lot of subscriptions, and then you do have an expensive addiction, I can tell. Unless you're buying something different from the vape store.
You're talking about vapes?
You're going there like constantly.
Yeah, November was a rough month. I've toned it down to like once a week now, so.
Even that's expensive.
I'm trying to kill the habit, man. It's super expensive.
I get it. That's an insanely hard habit to break.
$27 a hit, or a pot or whatever.
So that's going all throughout here. There's vapes and different smoke shops. You're also cash apping out a lot of money, and we have different subscriptions. Like lots of Apple bills has constantly come through.
Yeah, those the Apple bills. One of them's for storage on an iPhone, and then another one I just canceled. I realized I was getting hit with it and pulled that into my budget, and I canceled what I could off of them.
What the heck is Racetrack?
That's a gas station.
Okay, good. I was like, he's going here constantly, but I've never heard of it. I thought you were literally going to like a racetrack.
No. If it's anything larger than like $6, it's just fuel for a vehicle.
Sure.
But if it's like $6, like an energy drink, I think I went like 4 times in November. I ran out of ADHD medicine, needed some caffeine.
Yeah. I know there's like a shortage there for a while.
It's
right?
still
really bad.
Bad.
That's not good.
My daughter has like debilitating ADHD.
Yeah.
Huge shortage. Like got in trouble at school constantly.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's kind of unacceptable that it's still a shortage, but yeah, they better fix that soon. What scared me happened a couple times in just this month. We're transferring from savings into checking.
Oh, so the 190/80, right? Or 190/10? Is that the
there's 40 in here, 40 in here.
40 into savings or 40 in?
Out from savings to checking.
So I had that strict $1,000.
Yeah.
So when that account would get above $1,000, like I was automatically depositing to get to it. So when it would go above that, I would pull that in to drop it in my
How
budget.
How quick did it take you guys to get to the $1,000? Is this you and your wife, or is this strictly you?
Right now it's just me. Yeah.
Okay. Does she work?
She doesn't work right now. She's got a couple of issues that prevent her from working.
Okay.
So
that's totally fine. Is the overall finances combined though?
Yeah, everything's
okay.
Everything you see in there is ours.
Okay. So one income household though.
Yeah.
Well, two. I mean, you bring in two incomes, but yeah, from one person.
Yeah.
So we also have so this is your rent. You pay rent through Zillow?
Yeah, so they do a setup to where you can pay it. It charges like a $9.95 fee, but like it's much faster than trying to send like a money order to my landlord.
What is this place that you live in like?
3-bedroom, 2-bath. What is it?
Jeez, how many
duplex.
Square feet?
It's like 1,600.
Okay, you have a really maybe Dallas is just much more affordable.
It's not. I live like an hour and a half away from my work. I live like far north side of Dallas.
Well, 1479.
Yeah,
not bad.
It doesn't bother me. So like I kind of try and make everything efficient for this.
Mm-hmm.
Like my work is out of the way, but the gym that I go to is like on my way back home or on my way to work. So I don't ever drive out to the gym unless I'm coming home from work. So I never waste fuel through that.
Sure. What the heck is Creative Academy or Creative Learning Academy? Because it is hundreds just taken away.
That's my son's daycare.
Oh, daycare.
Yeah.
Oh, daycare's stupid expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate the cost of childcare. It's insane. Because
honestly, that's not that bad. I have friends that are
this is not that bad.
I have friends that are like, we're paying $2,000 a month, and I'm like, why? Why?
How often is he at daycare?
Every day. Yeah,
every single day.
He's there like every day. Yeah.
All full days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. You.
I do it. God. I do it for his like educational benefit. I do it.
Yeah, which is great. I'm just so surprised of how cheap it is that you've gotten.
Super cheap, man. I'm amazed. I live in a very it's not even up and coming. It's like a low end part of Dallas.
Okay.
So
it has some benefits in that case, right?
Yeah.
That's apparently one of them because wow. And then again, cash apping out money beyond finance. We'll get into that, but yeah, we're making some payments. And Susan Adams has popped out a couple times.
That's my doctor.
That's your doctor.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes.
You have to go to the doctor often?
I go like twice a month right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up?
No, we go twice a month. So that's mine and my wife's doctor.
Okay.
So we do. It's a psychiatrist, so we basically have to get our meds refilled for.
Oh, okay. Dang, you have to go monthly refills.
Yeah, because of the ADHD medication, so that she has to reassess.
To approve that every single month. Wow. Yeah. Okay, that's an expensive way to.
Yeah, I mean $60 per visit. Insurance helped.
Yeah, definitely.
Either that or she's like $200 for each visit.
And then cash out and things.
What was the cash apping out? Can I see that?
This one, yeah.
There's probably a good excuse.
This one was actually in. This one was in.
That's like detailing and stuff.
Oh,
like people
good.
Cash at me for detail.
And again, Vapor Maven Smoke Center, very expensive.
Yeah. You know what kills me about that too though is like I would get one and it would be a dud and they would be like, we can't replace it, so you got to buy another one.
Oh dang!
Dude, are you serious?
And YouTube Premium. I'm cool with that.
I drive constantly, so.
Oh, I couldn't do a YouTube without YouTube Premium. I don't know how anyone does. I mean,
it's the best investment I made. How much stuff I've learned, and like I can just constantly listen to like knowledge, like based things. Like I've listened to all of the Money Guy show.
Money Guy's fantastic. Love them.
They're wonderful. Brian Preston's one of the greatest people, and Bo makes the show perfect. So these guys are great.
And again, that Creative Learning Academy just pops up here and here. Racetrack is the gas, which we know. Gas is fine. You certainly spend a lot, but that's because you're very far from work and a lot of things. So.
Well, back then it was mainly like I was going to like places to detail people's cars, like I go to homes. Okay. So I would fuel up with that. But now I actually my car that I have got totaled, so I don't have that vehicle. I drive my company's vehicle right now. So,
and I'm not going to go through every single little thing because there's a lot, but it's just repeat. Actually, only went out to eat once, and it was just Whataburger for 60 cents.
62 cents, right? Dude, the free Whataburger when you sign up, man.
Oh.
I forgot my lunch one day and was like, well, I guess I'll use this.
And then we have another checking account. This one is with SoFi. I think you use SoFi mostly for the savings because the checking account's nothing.
Yeah, I don't even. I used the checking account one time. I had a fridge that went out when I very first got my emergency fund. Seems to be the way it goes. I had to transfer into that to buy the new fridge from Lowe's.
Oh, I wonder, was that on here?
Is the $8.99? I don't know if it's on that statement. Yeah.
Wait, this is a rental unit. Why do you own the fridge?
My landlord didn't do a fridge, so he doesn't. He
so
supplied
there's
everything
no
else
fridge in there when
no
you moved
fridge,
in?
no washer dryer.
Okay,
yeah, so
that's
whatever.
fine. Well, washer and dryer that is definitely hit or miss depending, especially if it's a home. This is a home, right? It's a duplex.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that can be hit or miss in terms of, but
I think in Texas they have like the right to do like whatever, you know.
probably, but refrigerators, I don't. That's so.
So it went out, and I was like, well, I'll just get a cheap like 2-door one.
It must, yeah, it must have been because under $1,000 for a refrigerator these days.
I think it was only like $7.99. I don't know. It was pretty cheap. So
well, that makes sense.
Then I automatically I put a pause on paying stuff off and got my savings back where it was.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then we do have the savings account, and this makes sense. I was going to be on you a little bit, but you're following, classic baby steps. You're on number 2.
Yeah. Well, so I've like I said, I watched like all of your videos, and I know you kind of like on.
No,
not even.
I poke and prod.
You poke and prod on it. The $1,000, yes, I agree, it's not enough, but I think it puts enough of a fire under my ass to make me like I only have $1,000. I have to like hustle to get this paid off as fast as possible because this $1,000 doesn't save me at all.
That's the one part I like about it. I like 2 parts about it. One, it shows someone that they can save. Yeah. That they can get to $1,000. I love that part. 2, lights a fire under your butt. That's fantastic. Yeah. What I don't like about it is that it actually doesn't function as an emergency fund.
It's not, I don't think that it's actually meant to be one.
Maybe not. But the thing is I've had 2 people already on this show who tried to do the $1,000 emergency fund, and then as they were paying off debt, something popped up and they got into a worse position than they were previously because $1,000 does nothing in 2023.
But the other thing that I have to make myself like super conscious of with $1,000 is like debt's never an option. So I either find a way to make this work,
which
this $1,000, or if I can't make it work, then I can go without it. Unless it's something like catastrophic.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's the thing. Like, what if that car crash was worse?
Yeah. I mean, luckily, the $1,000 covers all my deductibles. So
that's what I was
through the money guy thing.
That's what I was going to bring up because, well, they also mentioned on the Money Guy show, they're like, $1,000 might be great for someone who's like in their 20s, maybe early 30s or something, but they don't have any kids, they don't have family, they don't have people they're supporting, and then they're like, well, I don't know about just $1,000 for people who have support because you do have 3 dependents right now essentially because taking care of your wife and then you're taking care of the 2 kids. If something crazy were to happen, I'm glad this at least covers deductibles, and that's what they recommend on the Money Guys. $1,000, I don't know, that scares me. But you're doing this in such a good way, and it's working for you on a psychological level where I think this, from an outside perspective, I would be more comfortable with like $2,500, but it works for you, and that's literally all that matters in the end.
Well, and like I said, it puts me in a position of like just having to be like furious with what I'm doing, like just calculating how many ways I can get stuff paid off and as fast as possible. And I like the feeling of forced scarcity.
Sure.
So like forced scarcity has made me scared to be without, you know what I mean? Like not paying something down constantly.
Yeah. Again, I love the psychological part of the $1,000, but now we live in a world where global pandemics.
Yeah. That would kick in my teeth, man. Like if we went through another COVID, I'd kick in my teeth.
Yeah. So, just changing world, got to adapt, but $1,000 stays the same forever. But you have it there. It's good. Money goes in, money goes out, just so you can stay at the $1,000. Yep. Everything's going to attacking the debts.
Yeah. Any transfers off of that were all hit. Like it went 190 over. That 190 would go out, automatically go to what we're about to hit. So,
yeah. Speaking of what we're about to hit. It's the debts. So what is this beyond
It's a consolidation company.
Where are you consolidating?
Like credit cards and stuff. And like I'm gonna just preface this.
Go for it.
They're a terrible idea. Don't get into them.
Consolidations?
It's not even a consolidation. What they are is like I don't know. It's a settlement program, not a consolidation.
Okay.
So what they do is they say like, oh, just don't pay your debts, and then what we're gonna do is once you don't pay them and they get so delinquent, we're gonna work with them to pay them off while you put money into the savings account. Just do it yourself.
I wouldn't trust that.
It was such a bad idea, but like I was desperate.
It sounds good in the moment, right?
Yeah, in the moment you're like, oh, that's pretty cool, man. But then what you have to think about is they're charging you like a 15 to 20% fee for each debt they pay off. So the let's say $50 I'm putting in, if they pay off a $150 debt, they're taking 20% off the top of that already. So I'm not actually paying off that debt until I make 2 payments into that account.
And there's still accounts to be settled, it looks like.
Yeah, I believe Convergent Outsourcing was just settled, or whichever one Convergent Outsourcing. So I'm down to like 2 more things left on that. But what they did was they had this and then they rolled it into the above loan. So they did they have the above loan that they're working with.
Man. So what is this total at now that you're going to owe?
So it started out left. I have $6,980 at 23.3% interest, baby. What's up?
Dude,
not a good time. And that's the thing is
wait. Say the number again.
23.3%.
No, say the total balance.
$6,980.
Oh, okay. Ooh, I heard something wrong for a second. I thought you said $69,000 for a second. And I was like 23% interest, right?
Yeah, the 23.3 kind of killed me.
No, that's disgusting. Because for a second I was like, oh, is he against consolidation? Because in general, consolidations can be good depending on the situation.
Right.
Sometimes the snowball method works. Sometimes the avalanche method works. Sometimes just consolidating, depending where the interest rates are and where the amounts are and everything, it works. But usually people consolidate until like 11%.
Right. Yeah, no. But that's the thing is all of this stuff was already accumulating like 29% interest. Besides like the 4,000 and the 3,500 were getting 0.
Why didn't you consider just a standard consolidation? Was your
credit? Dude, I got such bad credit. I got like a 577 score right now.
Dude, okay, it's because you just went into like.
Oh, dude, I was bananas in my 20s.
Young, dumb, and full of completely stupid decisions.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like I said, man. I got kicked in the mouth in October, and I was like, oh, never again. So
I'm so glad that wake up call happened, and even if it was just so recent.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, I'm just so glad it happened. And it's only $99. Oh, biweekly.
So really, it was originally 153. So what happened is I got this settlement, and they offered me a loan off of it. So the next page of that is the above loan, which started out at $14,003. And I was like, I got on the internet, and I was like, okay, if I do X amount of payments, like so, when I originally started this loan, that $190 you see kept coming out of my savings. That was automatically to put in from my employer. On the savings account. So my payment was $190. Well, I got paid weekly at that job. So I would say I can make, because I already spoke for that money. I said, this money doesn't exist to me.
Yep.
The $191.80 doesn't exist. So what I'm going to do with that money is, because I already have my $1,000 savings account, I'm going to take that $190 every week and just pay it towards that loan. And so that $190 plus the other $190 payment that already comes out automatically would make it $1,140 I was paying a month on that loan. So it decreased, me doing it that way decreased the interest down to like, I don't know, like I was only going to pay like $3,000 in interest.
Yeah.
But lost that job. Yeah. Started this job. And now I have like
more monies.
Way more monies. I have like $4,000 left over every month after all my bills are paid.
That's incredible.
So
there's no reason this isn't gone.
This is gone. This is gone. If I get a couple of details in, this is gone this month.
Oh yeah,
Like this is
bringing in
gone.
those side hustles. Yeah,
This is gone like February 25th.
that's incredible.
And I looked at the amortization schedule of it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll have only paid it's like $360 in interest.
That's incredible.
The loan just started in January.
And what was the total at that point?
When it started,
Mm-hmm.
14,003.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, great progress so far, and it's gonna be gone. Ooh, how's it gonna feel getting all this off?
Oh, dude, I'm gonna like throw a party.
Yeah.
You know? I'm gonna like go to Chuck E. Cheese and like play in the ball pit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I've just been vigorously attacking it.
Well, I'm glad I don't have to yell about this, because usually I have to yell at someone because they don't have it through their head just how bad this is. But you already know, which is great.
So it was funny because I got in an argument with the lady, the lending lady.
Okay.
She was like, well, we're going to offer you this loan and it's going to be 23.3% interest, but all of your debts will get paid off in 2 months. And I was like, that's super cool, but that's 23.3%
Yeah.
interest. And then I started doing the math in my head and I was like, if I make 6 payments on this every month, which I was able to, if I make 6 payments on this, that's automatically reducing a 5-year loan to a 1-year loan with 6 payments. And then I got very fortunate that I lost my last job, honestly, because they paid me like a $3,000 severance. And then I got my check at the same time I got that severance, and I had $2,000 left over. And I was like, cool, $5,000 straight at this loan. So
I'm curious, if you were following the Ramsey plan, why didn't you just, because these balances weren't super huge, at least on the ones that I'm seeing here, why didn't you just like pay off the 384.1, the
dude,
249?
desperation's a stinky cologne, man.
Yeah.
So actually, what's funny is all these debts you see on here, there's 9 of those missing.
Yeah, I assume.
There's
yeah.
9 of those missing because it originally started out at like $18,000 in debt.
Right.
And I paid off like $7,000 of it.
And above.
Or I'm sorry, it was $4,000 of it.
Is above different?
Above is the loan for that. So basically they started out, they were like, we're going to settle, you just put money into a savings account. And then they were like, oh, we'll give you this loan.
Oh,
That's what it was.
interesting. I see, yeah. So 190, then boom, 1,300, 190, 100. Okay.
Yeah. So if,
And this is the same thing.
do
Yeah.
you mind if I pull this out real quick?
Oh, go for it.
That's the total right now, 67.39.
Very nice.
So I just hit a $5,000 payment.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
man.
incredible.
So
Sucks to see $5,000 go away,
No, it
but
doesn't.
no,
money
okay,
was already
good.
spoken for, man.
Exactly. Well, I'm glad you're able to look at it like that.
I think, and I don't think I would have gotten dragged into this, but desperation's a stinky cologne.
Yeah.
You know, so you're desperate to like make something make sense.
Yeah.
So
Then is this something different? Yes, this is your car.
yeah,
We have something financed, some car.
that was a
Well-
Kia Sorrento, dude, at 10.5% interest.
Was this the one that got totaled?
Oh yeah, thing doesn't exist. I sent this to you before it was totaled.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it got totaled.
Whoa.
And Gap kicked in, so it killed $26,000 in debt for me.
Oh, that's crazy.
And originally, what I was going to do with that $5,000 was buy another car.
Yeah.
But I said, I can wait a couple of months and just save up after I have my debt paid off.
If you had this now, would you have just sold it to get rid of it?
I would have paid off because it was worth like 19, so I would have had to pay it off like $6,000.
Extra 6,000, but you have the same driving situation now that you had then, right? The car, or no? Did you get a company car with the previous company?
I've always had a company car. I've
Okay.
never been without one.
Okay,
So it's almost. I've usually had that just in case like something happens with my kids.
Yeah.
But now I have such a flexible like schedule to where I can be like, I just need to go home and they'll let me. So I don't really have any situations that pop up.
But in that situation, if we were here right now, would you have sold that, paid off the $6,000?
Yeah, that was the exact conversation. We were going to sell that. I was going to get it down to probably 17. I was going to try and get it down to like 17, have $2,000 extra left over, hold that money back, and then save up a little bit for like $3,000-$4,000 car, which is doable.
Yes, it is.
Insanely doable.
Yeah.
I drove because I tried this once. I tried the get out of debt thing once, and I sold a car, and I filed for bankruptcy and then bought a cash car.
Oh,
It was a bad
wow.
time.
Well, that speaks for the 500 credit score.
Yeah. Which that was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. So it's been a little while. But I bought a Nissan not the Maxima. I bought a Nissan Maxima. It was like a 1990s Nissan Maxima.
Okay.
Had like, I don't know, 150,000 miles on it. That thing lasted me like 2 years, man. And I drove, it was a 5-speed. I drove that thing like, I mean, I think that a lot of people are more worried about looking poor than being poor, you know? Like, and that was part of my like illusion here was like, oh, I have a nice car, so I have money. But that thing was $675 a month, dude. That was $675 a month plus the $229 for insurance. I was paying almost $1,000 in a car. I was so car broke, it wasn't even funny.
Yeah.
You know?
So, and the loan term was pretty long.
Yeah, it was 72 months, I think.
75, yeah. So something you just said made me nervous, though.
What's that?
You got out of debt previously, or attempted to at least. But what made you go back into debt?
I actually had a really bad, my wife, she had a really bad divorce previously. And the guy drug her like through the dirt with getting custody of their kids. And when it happened, I had some savings built up. I had like 12 grand in savings built up, and to pay the lawyer, I helped pay for it. And just, you know, I back then I didn't have the whereabouts to be like, this isn't an option. Like, that's not an option. And I knew at some point that conversation would come up, and you'd be like, that makes me nervous.
It makes me nervous.
But I didn't have an understanding of money back then. Yeah. I didn't have an understanding of like interest rates. I was like, interest rates don't matter, you know? And that was a part of the psychological problem with like Dave Ramsey, right? Is he'll be like, interest rates don't matter. And you're like, that's the thing that sticks in your head, not the like interest rates don't matter because you're paying this down. It's the interest rates don't matter. Yeah. So that would get stuck in your head if you weren't fully on board with it. Yeah. But now after watching like you, the money guy, I have such a better understanding of money that I will never allow myself to be in this strapped of a situation again. Yeah. Good. Because
that was this car thing, and I'm glad we don't have to talk about it, but bad.
It was really bad. Yeah, I was like biting my nails about it, man. I was like freaking out. Like, how am I going to pay this thing off? It's $26,000. I'm going to be in this for like 2 years, and I got super fortunate.
So, is there any company match or anything for 401ks?
No, that's actually something I wanted to talk to you about. Okay. So my company doesn't do any matches. It's a pretty mom and pop shop. So they don't do any 401k company match. What I was thinking about was just dropping into like a VTSAX, like the global market fund for Vanguard, or like a S&P index fund, and just, you know, supplying that myself. I know that like nothing beats 100% match, but like if they don't offer it, they don't offer it. I have like $4,000 left over each month to throw at something. So
yeah. Well, I mean, okay. So certainly not investing advice. I'm definitely more S&P 500 base. And you know, you can do things like mutual funds as well, but you know, just, either way, I'm just trying to get 10% or higher when it comes to historical track records. Obviously, we're probably not doing that now because that 25% interest rate will always beat 10%.
Yeah. I am not even thinking about investing right now. It sits in the back of my head, like, where do I need to put my money when it does come up?
Because it's going to start very soon with the way you're just tackling this thing.
It'll, I think like March or April, it'll start.
What does your retirement situation look like? Do you have anything anywhere?
Oh, dude, nothing. I got nothing, man.
Do you get anything from the military?
I get VA disability. Okay. Yeah, it's like $642 a month. Okay. So nothing too crazy, but I'm literally gonna take that, and it's gonna get thrown into investments as well. So.
Well, let's do some maths then.
I think that my number I have to hit is like $1,300 a month to retire with like 3.3 million.
Is that what you want? 3.3 million?
I think 3.3 would be comfy.
3.3 in future years' money or in today's money?
Future years' money.
Okay.
So. I mean, well, I guess today's money, technically.
Are you going to follow the 3% rule, taking 3% out to let it maintain, if not potentially grow as well?
I think, I'm going to either do 3 or 4. I know that on the money guy side, they say 4%. I'm not looking to retire
good.
early.
You'll definitely have, depending if a priority is making sure you're passing on the full pile or even a higher pile, 3%, helps with that. But 4% is okay as well.
Right. Yeah, I think 3.3 would allow me, because I'm calling it. I'm dying at 74, man.
Okay.
74. So I only need it for a couple of years. Nah, I think 3.3 would be comfy. But I mean, I'm really looking to throw like as much money as possible into retirement.
When do you want to retire? What age?
I'm going to go to 65, man. Whatever. I like what I do. I like my job.
So you're going 30 years. You're 31, right?
Yeah, 31.
31. Okay, so.
I don't know if I said 30 in the intro.
My
birthday was in December.
I'm terrified of 30.
You know, it's I feel better at 30.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. I feel better about my brain. And you know, in the 20s you're still kind of processing what life's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And like in your 30s you're kind of like, "Oh, it's all good. Everything's fine." You know? This is the path I'm on now. You come to terms with it.
I like the way you look at things. You guessed it. You guessed like 1,000.
I think like 14 or 16 is what I have to put in for 3.3.
In futures money.
Maybe.
Futures money for 34 years.
I don't really know what that means.
Sorry. Let me say that in a weird way. That like made sense in my head, but
future. I mean, I know like
in terms of
inflation,
like that's what it's actually going to be, or is that what you want it to be worth in today's money?
I want it to be worth that in like today's money.
So 3.3 in today's money.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna think with inflation, unless we're just doing. For simplicity's sake, I'm just doing like S&P 500 average returns, which is just over 10%.
Yeah,
But
it's like 10.25 or something like that.
Yeah.
Generally.
And of course, you can beat that with certain.
I don't even want to try, man.
Yeah, it's fine not to. Index funds are fantastic. Mutual funds, usually the ones that beat that, they have like high fees and crap.
I was going to come on here and mess with you and be like, yeah, I'm a crypto bro. And like when you said, what do you do for a living? I was going to be like, I'm an aspiring actor and model and a crypto bro.
Yeah.
And just like watch your head explode. But no,
I've heard enough at this point. So why 3.3, by the way?
I think that's what I can withdraw $100,000 for a pretty long time into like, I don't know, 85 or something like that. My math could be wrong. I don't know, man.
132,000.
Yeah.
A year with 4%. That's 4% taken away.
That's what I calculated it for, but I don't know. Is it how much is it saying I have to put in? Is it 15 or 16?
Oh. Well, taking into account like 3% inflation, like 2,000.
2,000? I can do that.
You can. I mean, that would be.
My bills aren't that high.
That's just taking in, well, like 3% inflation. I think the average technically, since like we went off gold, has been 4%, just under 4% inflation.
Yeah.
But the average until, just recently, but the average for the last like 4 decades, maybe 5 decades, 4 decades, has been closer to 2-3%.
Yeah.
So usually we seem to have better control of it until just recently. So I typically like to guesstimate around 3 till we retire. But
I think that like a lot of people have short-term memory.
Yes.
When it comes to things, and like people are like, oh, interest or it's inflation's so bad, and it's like it's bad right now, but we just got through such a like globally polarizing time.
Yeah.
Of course, inflation went up. Like we have, manufacturing that has to revamp, hiring that has to happen again. Like everything.
And the money supply went wild as well.
Yeah, it went crazy. So, I think that generally, we should have a good hold on it, and maybe by the time I retire, we'll be through another global pandemic, and I'll.
Why not?
Yeah, why not, man? I'll figure it out with my millions.
Are you going to continue doing the side hustle once debt is paid off?
So with this job, I'm a little more strapped for time, but I have almost the same cash flow as what I did with the side hustle, like because my employer kind of pays me in a weird way.
Okay, so are we thinking more once the debt is gone, $100,000?
I'm so comfy at 100,000. Like I wish that this is something, because I have like friends that are like, oh man, you gotta have debt, and I wish this was something like people think that, and I wish this was something people would understand. Is like my payments whenever my debt is gone is only like $2,200 a month to like pay for bare necessities.
And, rent.
It's only like $2,200 a month. So Like,
Yeah, you're in a great rent situation.
I'm in a great rent situation. I have a company vehicle, you know, but like,
You'll want to buy a home, I'm assuming.
yeah, that's actually, it's like the next 5-7 years. I'm not really I'm going to start throwing some money back into a high yield savings. I don't know if I'm going to go to the 20%, because I get VA loan, which doesn't accrue PMI.
Okay. Right.
So I'll probably still go like 5% down, at least have some equity in the house starting. But yeah, I think probably 5%, you know, listening to other shows, they also, you know, first home, 3, 5, 10%.
Where a lot of people fall a trap into is just then the monthly payment is, they get into a situation where the monthly payment is well beyond like 30%.
Yeah, I'm not going to hop in. I'm looking at like $200,000, $225,000 houses.
Which would be great.
I'm not worried about.
We live in completely different cities.
Well, the city I live in, it's a very, very small, like, excommunicated suburb of Dallas. So like, it's not the uppity part of Dallas, which is like $500,000 houses that are like 13 square feet.
$500,000 houses is the poverty version of Austin. Yeah, unfortunately, but
I had a homeless guy yell at me on the way here because he was in the road while I was driving. It was, I don't know, it's a cesspool over there.
So you bring in probably like $5,800 after taxes without the car stuff.
My company pays me weird, so I get $50,000 salary, $50,000 per diem. Okay. So 50% of my salary is tax free.
Yeah. How does it? When does it come in?
The per diem?
Does it all come in together though?
All of it comes in together.
Okay.
So I make.
What do you think it comes in a month after taxes?
After taxes, I pull in $1,775.96 times 2. That's $3,400 plus another. I'm trying to do the math in my head. I'm not good at it. It's like $7,700.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not a tax person, but you're 100% sure you're doing that right when it comes to per diem and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. You've sat down with someone?
So it's the way that my employer does it for everybody. They have a guy that I guess they run it through. Okay. So, so basically 50% of my income is supposed to pay for like living needs on the road and stuff. Yeah. But they pay because everywhere I go, I make per diem regardless, but they just pay a crazy amount for per diem compared to other places. It's legal. I looked into it. Okay.
I just wish I was a little more educated on that.
I technically make $50,000 a year when it comes to taxes, but I actually make $100,000 total.
Okay. Well, with this, you'll easily be able to invest $2,000 a month and then also save up money on the side for a house. Mm-hmm. And even with this, I wouldn't personally want to do any less than $1,500 on a monthly basis
in investments
into any kind of savings. So you're already above that, or will be. I'm
gonna because my emergency fund, I have to build that like immediately after everything's paid off.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm gonna get it to about 24,000. Okay, just to have a good buffer zone. I don't know if I'll probably still keep contributing to it. And not like
you probably don't need to go that high, but it's okay if you do.
Yeah, I know my expenses are low, but I want to have, that's probably more like a year worth of expenses almost. Yeah. So I'd be happy with that.
Definitely, I think since you've missed the best year of your life for best decade of your life for compound growth,
could have had $88.
Time to catch up. I know. It's time to catch up. Yeah. So I think going hard for like the next decade, saving up for retirement, I think would be fantastic for you.
Well, and my career projection is only up too. Sure. So like the $100,000, I'm at like an entry level management position for this. Like going to a project manager goes to like 120, 150. So, and that's probably within the next year.
And I would love to see your retirement account when you hit 40 be at like $300,000.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's the plan, man. Like if I can, because I'm still in the range to make like $1 turn into like I believe 36 or 32. So I'm gonna throw everything I can at it. I'm gonna make it like I'm storming a castle. Just throw everything I can.
Well, I think you have a pretty good plan that's laid out. Not too much I can help with, but everything's just kind of there. Interesting situation to look at in general, but I think, any final thoughts?
I think I have what I need figured out. I wanted some like insight on like investments and stuff. But I think that we both agree. I kind of already have that.
I think you're good. You'll just sit down with
a financial advisor and get that all sorted.
Yeah.
I guess my main reason for wanting to come on here is I told you earlier, I've watched like every one of your videos, and I see like time and time again people fall into a trap of believing that they have to live this way, and you don't. Like the amount of stress that I will have off of my shoulders in March, knowing that all of my bills can be paid by me working a $18 an hour job if I need to. Incredible. Yeah. Incredible feeling. And you don't have to go buy a brand new car. You don't have to go into debt to survive, even if you're making, I mean, $725 is a little low. You're probably going to have to, you're going to be struggling.
That's also really rare to make.
It's very rare to make in major cities, but like small towns still do it. But you don't have to like go into this situation just because you're not making a lot of money. I think if we can all sit down, be smart about our money, our finances, sit down and write everything down every month, we're going to be in a much better situation. I have a budget. I don't follow it exactly. I lay out guidelines and I stick to them as best as possible, but stuff always happens. I'm only 3 months into budgeting strictly, so little things pop up, I readjust the next month. But like, don't let that be your downfall. Like, it didn't work perfect this time. Just try it again next month, And I really just wanted this talk to be more of a message of like, A, you don't need college. B, you just kind of have to pull your head out of your butt and go, I need to get serious about this and get out of this. And then once you're out of it, just start investing in your future, because I spent my 20s not thinking about anybody but myself. And now I'm in my 30s going, man, my kids might not have anything if I don't start this. So, and I just wanted to come on your show, man, meet you. So big influence on me these past couple months. So been fun.
So for Thomas right now, due to no emergency fund, no retirement, and some pretty bad debt, Hammer Financial score 4 out of 10, but that will be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 before the end of the year. Good luck, Thomas. Make sure to follow all the fun things in the description like my Instagram and Twitter, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.